Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, depending on where you are right now in the world. I am Emelina Minera with vidpaltravel.com, and we are a global real-time video marketplace. And today we are talking with Matt Skelcher. He is the founder of 90-Second Explainer Videos and Infinity Studio, and he's also an executive instructor for the Freedom Business blog. And he's pretty awesome and travels all over the place. And so we're going to talk with him today about lots of fun things. Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today.
No worries. I'm more than happy to jump on the call.
So I was stalking you for the past few days online. And I looked down your Instagram account and your LinkedIn account and your different websites. And one thing that I also watched your interview with Rodrigo Flamenco, who we interviewed a couple weeks ago. And your background story, I find it so interesting. And how you're saying with Rodrigo how you're working 3 to 4 jobs in England before you started creating your own businesses. And during the weekends, you'd be in different coffee shops from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Not 5 a.m. 9 a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m. Well, that's still a lot. I was like, wow, you were dedicated. But still, that's a lot of dedication. And I was wondering what your motivation was. You said you got this email, I think, to join an SSM mastermind course that kind of propelled this journey. And you said that you weren't just content working the different jobs that you were doing. So what was it that propelled you to kind of start this journey?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of traveled a lot when I was young, and my family would travel a lot. And when you kind of start to, finish school and you earn no money, you can't really afford to do anything. You kind of want to get that lifestyle back, I guess. But mainly I get bored if I'm in one place for too long, I get too bored. So it's good to, I always wanted kind of a lifestyle where you could, base yourself anywhere. When I started, I'd never been to Europe at all. So I really wanted to see everywhere in Europe and live there. There's just so many things I wanted to do, and you couldn't really do it when you were stuck I lived in a small town in England when I was there. It's a cool town, but there's not much there. And I wanted to see everything and all that kind of thing. And it's not really a town where you can become a millionaire. It's kind of a town where you live a quiet, cozy life. So it was kind of, I really wanted to, do cool things.
And you went to school in China from 2000 2007?
I actually went to school since I think I started in 1993.
Oh,
so I did school in Hong Kong. My parents moved there when I was 5 years old. I don't know how old I was, but and then I did all of primary school, all of secondary school, and all the way till finishing school basically. And then I lived there another year and then flew back to England. So I'm actually more from Hong Kong than I am from England, technically.
What's that like, having kind of being raised with 2 cultures and having Hong Kong kind of be your main home ground?
I don't know. I think Hong Kong has a very international kind of feeling to it. It's a really cool city. So they're both completely different. I mean, when I lived in England, it was a very small town, kind of rural, where we lived. There were no houses around. It's just cows and farms everywhere. But then when we lived in Hong Kong, you're 10 minutes from the middle of the city, and it's a mega city, and it's freaking cool. And I have lots of friends there. Well, I have friends in England too, I guess. But it's complete opposites. There's always something to do in Hong Kong, but then you go to England and it's kind of there's one cinema and it's barely ever working. And it's pretty cool. It's more rural, more outdoor activity type stuff. It's colder. But yeah.
And then so on your Instagram, I've been following you. I've been I looked, I think maybe 2 years worth of content. I scrolled down on your Instagram feed, and it shows that you have traveled like tons of places since you've started your different businesses. Like I think Bulgaria, Estonia, Thailand, Spain, Finland, Sweden, Australia, if I didn't say that one already, Norway, and more that I know I'm missing. And I noticed that you go back and forth between, I think, like kind of 5 constant countries. I think it's like Sweden, Finland, Spain, Australia, and England. And what is it that draws you back to those same countries?
I don't know. I've only been to Australia once, but I lived there for 3 months. And I've like one of my best friends from school lives there, which is why I went there. I've got a lot of friends in Australia, so it was really cool to go there. And I'll probably go again soon. I don't know when. But Norway, again, I've got a lot of friends there. Probably more friends in Norway than I do in England. So it's always cool to just, you know, they're always like inviting me to come stay with them and stuff. And in Europe, you can fly from like England to Norway for like $20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to just go out and stay with friends over there and yeah, and just hang out there. England, because obviously my family live there, so if I go to England, I typically stay with family. Finland, why are we going? My friends over here. Finland, I don't know why we're in Finland. I like Finland. I've been once before, but we're going again next week for a few days. So I don't know. It's really cool. I'd probably live in Sweden if it wasn't only in the summer, I think. But yeah.
What's the favorite place that you've traveled to or lived in?
It depends. I like it as a place to live, but then, you know, when it comes to like fun, I think we had a lot of fun when we were in America. We did like a road trip in Texas. Like Texas, I love Texas. In terms of food, like I think Spain, Italy have amazing food. I like England a lot too, and Hong Kong a lot, but they're like home, I guess. I'd probably say Australia's one of my favorites, but it's not, I don't know, like there's different areas, you know, like I have the most friends in Europe, so I typically stay around here. But yeah, Australia as a country is really cool, I think.
What are the things that draw you to Australia? Like, what are the things that you think are really cool?
I don't know, I just think it looks it's really pretty, I guess. I don't know if it's because where we stayed was a really nice area, but we were like right by the cliffs and the beach and the golf courses and stuff. So you'd wake up and you'd see, you know, like because there's like wildlife everywhere in Australia too. Like you go into the country and you see kangaroos everywhere. It's not like, it's really wild and kind of exciting. And the city is really nice as well. Like Sydney is a very beautiful city. Yeah, like I really love Sydney. It's one of my favorite cities, I think. And yeah, I got really good friends there. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say Australia, but okay, if Europe was a country, I'd say Europe. But if it was an individual country, I'd say Australia.
Okay.
Probably.
Would you say that relationships are one of the most important things to you? Like I notice when you travel, it goes back to the different friends and relationships that you have in the different countries.
I hate traveling alone. I traveled alone once, and it was the worst day of my life, worst month of my life. Because, you know, I was actually in Central America. Like Central America is really cool. I really liked it. But when you're in a hotel alone, and you don't know anyone, and you don't even, I had like one book, and it was like a travel guide. And like I'd have read the travel guide like 5 times because I had nothing to do. And I didn't take my laptop. This was like before I had a business, so I didn't need a laptop. And I think this was like when I didn't have an iPhone either. I had like a crappy phone. So I had like nothing to do, and I just sit in the hotel kind of like, yep, nothing to do here. And if you go outside, it's kind of scary. I don't know, I was in a bad area. So I hate traveling alone. I wouldn't do it again. But yeah, traveling with friends, you kind of experience it together. You get to, you know, you build experiences when you're with someone. So it's a lot more fun with a friend, and especially if the friend's from the area, because they can show you, you know, if you go to a tourist place with you know, as a tourist, you typically do the tourist stuff, and you go to tourist restaurants and you do all that kind of stuff, which isn't typically that good. But then if you go with a friend, they kind of show you the real city, the real cool things to do, and yeah, it's a lot more a lot more exciting. That's why we like Poland. Like we're here now. We got a lot of friends here, but we know all the cool things you can do. Like we avoid obviously the touristy parts that everyone else does, and you get to really like, once you know the area, you can really enjoy it a lot better. And yeah, go on.
What are some of the local things that you guys do in Poland?
Typically here we work a lot. Yeah, like we work like savages. I mean, our routine at the moment is we wake up at like 8 o'clock, and then we go to like this cafe at 9 a.m. and get eggs for breakfast, eggs with ham, and just like work. It's a really nice place where we go. Then, if it's a gym day, we go to the gym. I like to get sushi for lunch after, or a salad. Trying to be healthy lately. And then after that, we'll do work again, typically wherever we want to go. And then we kind of come back to the apartment and maybe get dinner after. That's why I'm in the apartment now, because it's kind of about 8 p.m. here. But yeah, that's pretty much the routine at the moment.
What has been? Oh, sorry. What? Say that again.
No, I've just realized I've got this like horrible light right here behind me.
That's fine. I can still see you. What has been the most like interesting or unique office that you've worked at?
I've not had an office. My favorite place to work has been the cafe I go to here, actually. It's called Avanti, and it's kind of like, it's got like trees and stuff in there, and there's like big wooden tables, and it's really cheap, and the food's really good. Yeah, and it's like in the center of like this shopping mall as well, so it's like feels really, I don't know, like, I don't like working from areas that feel kind of rubbish. I like to be in like hotel lobbies and stuff, like 5-star hotel lobbies where it feels kind of affluent. So yeah, I kind of like places like that. I like working in Starbucks as well if they're not too noisy. But yeah, that's probably my answer to that, I would say.
I remember from watching last year's interview you did with Rodrigo, that you said when you were working at coffee shops a few years back, that the workers like knew you and like kind of claimed you as like, you'd always be in their coffee shop, or no, their coffee shop. Do you kind of have that same kind of sentiment with the workers at the places you go to now?
Maybe not so much now. Back then, I was in England back then, and I knew a lot of them as friends. And I would get people stop me on the street at night and go, "I know you." Like, yeah, I remember like this drunk girl came up to me once, and she's like, "I know you. You're that guy who sits in coffee shops all day and sits on a laptop." And then other than that, yeah, I was friends with, I guess, the people that worked in some of the coffee shops I'd go to, and I'd always try and blag free coffee, but I'd never get it. Yeah, but it was cool. I had to befriend them because I would be in there for hours on end, and yeah, I don't think like when we were in Italy last week, we kept getting kicked out of coffee shops because we'd be there for 2 hours, and we'd order food and everything, like we wouldn't be cheap or anything. And we'll be there for 2 hours, and they go, go, it's time to go, and we're like, all right. So yeah, it's good to be friendly with the people, I think, and we tip quite well as well, so they like us. But yeah, I spend a lot of time in coffee shops, which is cool because I like it. But yeah.
So with traveling, what is it that traveling can give you that nothing else can?
I don't know. I just think it's fun to see new things because you can. It's kind of educational in a way that you see different cultures, like the world works in different ways wherever you go, and it's just kind of cool to see the differences and be like, I don't like people who travel and consider themselves, they kind of get all cocky and think they know everything because I've traveled to 2 countries, I'm a genius. I would never consider myself like that, but I still think it's good to travel and see the world and just experience what it's like, and there's a lot of cool things about different places. I mean, like the big problem with it is like most of my favorite restaurants are in different countries, so there's no like one city I can go to where it's like all my favorite restaurants here, all my friends are here, because it's I'm in Poland now, and it's like my family's over here, my my friend's over here, like this person's over here, my favorite restaurant's over there. So it's kind of a bit of a problem now. Because I would like to, eventually settle in one place where it's got everything, but we'll see what happens. It'll probably be England actually, where I would like to set up a HQ in England, like maybe, I'm not sure where in England, maybe Oxford or something. But it'd be cool to like get a nice, super nice house and make it headquarters. Yeah, like that kind of thing. I mean, that'd be cool.
Were you in Oxford recently?
Not recently. I've not been there for like maybe a year and a half.
Okay. The one thing that I know about Oxford is that one of my friends goes to school there. And then also the campus, I think, shot some of the Harry Potter for the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like the Great Hall from Harry Potter is in Oxford.
And then my friend who goes there is a huge Harry Potter fan. So I think she like about died when she was, in there. That seemed all very familiar.
Yeah, actually, my little sister's the biggest. My little sister is she's an admin on the Harry Potter fan club forum or something. She's hardcore. You go in her bedroom and it's like hardcore Harry Potter city. She's got like the official wand, the Gryffindor wand, and all that crap. She's got like all the shit, all the Harry Potter merchandise, all the books. Like she's got like every book like twice. Yeah, my sister's a hardcore Harry Potter nerd. But yeah.
I saw on your Instagram, I think it's probably maybe a year or so ago, I can't remember. But you said your sister was 10 and the first time she texted you was when you went off, I think, to Australia for 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's the, like, with being the bigger brother, do you think that there's some, like, do you think she looks up to you of how, like, you're traveling, or, like, how do you think that's influencing her?
I don't know. She's like, lives in her own, I don't know, my littlest sister, I don't think she even knows what I do. She just like, probably forgets I exist, and then she'll, like, remember one day, she'll see me on Facebook one day and go, oh, I have a brother, of course. And then she'll like message me some random stupid message. She sends me the most random things, like completely random rubbish. She'll send me like YouTube links to Sonic the Hedgehog musicals out of nowhere, like completely out of context, no reason to send me this link, but she'll send me this stupid YouTube link. And she's like, it's so funny, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, well, it's really funny. And then she won't reply again. Like she'll just disappear for like a month. But yeah, she's cool.
And so with your interview with Rodrigo, he asked you about like different resources or blogs or books that you read. And you said that you didn't read too many outside stuff. And that I had this question, it totally left my head. So I'm just going to go with it. Okay, I know you're talking about a couple books that you read and how they're linked to mindset. So is mindset something that's important to you, like professionally and personally?
My mindset is primarily based off Dan Kennedy's Wealth Attraction at the moment. If you watch it, it's quite an eccentric. The things he says to do are quite eccentric, but I've been doing that for a long time now, and it's been pretty, like, there's been significant changes since I started doing it.
What's the book called?
It's not a book, it's on YouTube. It's like 6 hours long. It's called Dan Kennedy Wealth Attraction. It's like it's 3 separate videos, but I watch it all the time and I try to assimilate it and do exactly what he says. And some of the stuff's really bizarre that he makes you do. And I get mocked by my friends for doing some of the things. So one of the things he says to do is to have money just lying around everywhere. And my friends look at me like just like look at it, touch it, like always be able to see money. Like over here, I've got like £1,000 stack of cash just like on the side. And it's kind of it's just the mind, like, the whole thing is like to train your mind. There's just like, money's like everywhere. As opposed to being like, oh, there's no money anywhere. Like, oh, money, hide it. Put it in the safe. There's no money. And it just kind of like conditions your brain that it's everywhere and it's easy to get. And that really helps when you're trying to sell stuff in business, I find. And it's like, since I've been doing that, as weird as it is, it's had a significant, like, we're talking 4x increase in business revenue from doing these mindset changes I've been doing. So it's pretty worth checking out. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hear a lot about kind of like scarcity mentality with money, and that just being on different kind of like Facebook groups and forums. That's kind of a theme that I see is people being scared to talk about money, or kind of thinking like it doesn't exist, or there's certain areas where they can't get it. That makes sense if you believe that where you are is plateaued, you can't really go any further, and that's kind of what you're attracting, and you're not gonna kind of either think out of the box or attract the energy to get more.
Yeah, like I'm a big believer in the idea. You need to, I guess, going a bit deep now. It's kind of like if you accept in your mind that it's possible, then or like what you're focused on is what you move towards. And yeah, if you are focused on like, oh, there's no money, it's like, oh shit, this is bad. Always breaking even at the end of the month. Then you're gonna kind of stay there forever. But actually, another really good book on this is, I read this recently actually, but it's one of my favorite books now, is The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's a simple idea. It's like simple mindset ideas and strategies, but like I love this book, and it's all about like if you get paid 10% of that, or I make more, but a certain amount of that is for you, and it's only for you and investments only. So you put it aside. So every month it's not like you end the month where you started it. You're always, every month that goes by, your wealth is increasing. And then once you got enough, you put it into investment, like, I don't know, stock market or property or something like that. But you're always kind of, growing that wealth while still living your lifestyle as you normally would. And I think that's a huge thing as well. It's something I do. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on mindset I do, I would say. It can all be found in that book and that DVD thing I said, the Bank Kennedy thing.
What are some of the earlier books that you've read that kind of changed your mindset or your process and how you do things?
My all-time favorite business book is called Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. And I've got a load of books, actually. I don't know what my Kindle is. I'll grab my Kindle.
Okay.
All right. Oh, another mindset thing I've got is on my Kindle. I've got like I call it the life gyroscope. Basically, just like it's my goals for the year and like how I'm gonna do it. Goals for the year, how I'm gonna like the 3 goals for the year and how I'm gonna do them. And also like another one is like who I want to be as a person, like a few paragraphs describing like myself. But it's written in a way, it's not like I will become this. It's written like I am this. I am doing this. And you read it every day, like either morning or night or both or whatever. And that's something I do, which is really good. My favorite other 2 business books are Ogilvy on Advertising, Scientific Advertising by Claude. I forget his surname, Claude Hopkins. My Life in Advertising by Claude Hopkins, and Confessions of an Advertising Man by David Ogilvy. They're probably my favorite marketing books at the moment, at least. I've probably got more, I just can't find them right now. Oh, and Cash Advertising is pretty good. But yeah, there you go. They're my top 5 books, I would say.
What do you think is like the biggest takeaway that you gained from the advertising books?
Depends on the book. There's a lot. I say 2 big things. My 2 biggest epiphanies in marketing at the moment are the first one. Okay, this is just like a random sales copy one, but always keep in mind is from Ogilvy. No headline, no like sales copy ever sells unless it promises a benefit to the reader. So, if I write, this is getting technical marketing, but if I write a headline and it's just saying like, this will do this and this, it's not going to work. It needs to offer a direct benefit to the person reading it. And because that's what sells. You're selling the benefit, not necessarily what it is. That's one thing. The other, what was the other one I had in mind? I've forgotten it now. Oh yeah, the other one is, like always be asking, whatever you're offering, you need to be asking, is this a ridiculous offer? Like, would the person be stupid if they didn't buy this?
Uh-huh.
You know, you're not looking and go, oh, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it looks good. You need to be like, look, this deal is so good, you'd be an idiot not to buy it. And yeah, I try to do that in all of my thing. Obviously, you have like a back end and stuff like that going on too, where you try and sell them more stuff and all that kind of thing. But the initial sale needs to be, you know, you don't want to go in like, oh yeah, buy this website for $25,000. It's great. It's a website. They go like, you know, it's gonna be a hard sell. You have to do meetings and all that kind of stuff. And when I like to live in Europe, that's pretty tricky for me. So, you know, my strategy is to get like just an offer that's just almost too good to be true, just so good. And you know, it's hard to come up with an idea, but you want to come up with an idea like that. Maybe even like a cost, like you don't even make profit on it, just to get them as a customer. And yeah, just like market the crap out of it, and get it in front of as many people as possible. And then those people, you know, like over deliver for those people, and yes, like systemize that process as well. And yeah, that's basically what I do, I guess. And I think that's if ever I like want to launch something, it has to, you know, in my mind, it has to be, it's always, how can this be, is this a ridiculous offer? Like, are you an idiot for not buying this? Yeah, and that's kind of what I do, I guess.
And so earlier you're talking about affirmations, how each morning you read, I think your 3 goals for the year, and then how to kind of like the action plan, and then also like who you want to be, the statement is I am. What are your 3 goals for the year?
That's semi top secret.
Okay.
I don't know. I believe in the thing where you should never tell people your goals. I can give, one's related to business. They're just like what related to each of the 3 pillars, I guess. But I think what's the business one? The business one is, oh no, I don't want to say the business one because I know people are watching this and it's a surprise. I got like an elaborate plan, which I think my friend knows about it, but yeah, they're big goals.
What are your personal goals?
My main goal for the year is based around business. Just like making the business as big as possible and fully automating it. And okay, so like as a business strategy, my goal is to, you know, get as many customers as I can. So this past month, for example, I got about 180 new customers. I think, or something like that, 180 new customers, and I want to add like, you know, that kind of many every month. And you know, the long-term strategy with that is to create another business that's similar to that, you know, buyer, and then go, hey, remember us? We did this great deal for you before. Here's another one, and then they'll go, oh, these guys are great, and they'll buy, you know, this one, and then, you know, get them onto other different promotions and stuff like that. And you know, you want to get like a big loyal following, kind of like affiliate marketing, but to businesses. And then eventually, like maybe sell a couple of the businesses for like a big wad of cash, and then I would want to put that money in property and invest it into big things. And yeah, that's kind of the stuff I'm doing. I'm also keeping my expenses relatively low. Well, not low, but I'm not overly extravagant, I would say. But yeah, that's probably my goal, my main goal for the year. And another one's like fitness and other stuff. And yeah.
So you got 180 new customers in this span of a month. What's your process of getting new customers and building that base?
There's lots of things. I do like a lot. I mainly direct response marketing, I would say. And I also get people promoting, so I'll contact agencies and with like a list of people, and I'll get them to promote for a commission. I'll get, you know, like people, because I've got like the marketing systems in place already. So people come to me sometimes, or like they'll hear about what I do, and they'll go, hey, yeah, like, you know, hook us up. What do I do? And we'll give them like, we'll tell them like, we'll give them like a deal. We'll set them up with like a landing page for the offer or something that they can put their own logo on. And then they can basically sell it however way they want. It's like a super good offer, and they'll get like a small commission off that, which, you know, they get money, which is good. We get money, which is good, and I get the buyers list being built as well. Or technically, we both get a buyers list being built. But yeah, that's basically what happens. And Yeah, like I get the most bizarre people, not bizarre in a rude way, but in a unique industry standpoint. So I'll get like fitness gurus promoting my video stuff, and yeah, I was getting random printers promoting me, like random people promoting me, and it turned out to be really good. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do at the moment, I would say, amongst other things.
When you're not working, what is it that you like to, where do you like to put your time, or what do you like to do?
That's a good question. I don't really have any hobbies at the moment. I just, typically my life at the moment is working, which I really enjoy, and eating food. I eat very nice food on a regular basis, I would say, and that's probably my hobby. I want to get into sports like kayaking and stuff like that again. I used to do that when I was younger, like sailing and stuff. I'm definitely going to do that this year at some point. But yeah, I want to get into like more sports and like fitness or outdoor related activities. I do a lot of hiking too. Like we'll do a hike in Italy recently. Sort of, we got lost. And yeah, we did a hike. I did a hike here when I was here before, like in the snowy mountains and stuff. And I think that's really fun. But yeah, I like the outdoorsy type stuff.
And what is it about working that you really enjoy?
I don't know, the feeling of growth and progress. You know, when you, like, oh yeah, one other big thing I do is monitor, like every week, like monitor every stat. And you know, like then the next week, the goal is to like beat that stat. So I've got here my secret purple book of destiny. And in this book, which I will not open, it has my, oh, I just did. It has my, like the balance of all my bank accounts put together. And every Friday I'll write down, like, I'll add up all like PayPal here, like the business bank here, all that kind of thing, like the savings, put it all together and then write down the number on the Friday. And of course, my goal for next Friday is to make that number bigger. So, so it's always kind of, so like every week, it's like, okay, you know, like you see this book will be lying around. It's like, okay, the number's got to be bigger next week. And it's, you know, my mind is, okay, everything's focused on making that number bigger. And that's kind of like a video game where you're just looking for new ways and new exciting things to do to get that number up. And it also keeps you in the mindset of not blowing it all. So, you know, if I had a big wad of cash, I would, if I was just not thinking I'll probably spend it on like random crap, like buy an iPad or something I wouldn't really need. But now I kind of keep my expenses in control, because although I do live well, at the same time, I want to keep that number growing and beating the previous week. And that's kind of what I do, I guess. And that's where my enjoyment comes from.
And then last year in your interview with Rodrigo, you had a goal of becoming a millionaire. Is that like the ultimate goal that you're leading towards?
Not the ultimate goal. I would say it's a milestone. I would like to say within 5 years. Well, I would say within 5 years. But yeah, I would like to hit the millionaire, like $1 million in the bank account level relatively soon. I'm not there yet, but one day.
And so you're also an executive instructor for the Freedom Business blog, or Freedom Business blog.
Yeah.
And so what's
over here?
And your friend? What was that? This
is a fellow instructor over here. We're doing a trip together. He's been with me since Italy.
Oh, no.
And we're going to Finland as well. So we both kind of travel a lot.
So what are both of your roles as executive instructors? What do you guys do with that?
We haven't been doing much lately. We went because like the course is kind of it's about to start again pretty soon. But we will typically be making content videos, coaching guys. We did one-on-one consultations in Bulgaria, which was pretty cool. Like one of my guys did really well from the consultation. So one guy made like 3 times what he paid me back when we had like a follow-up call and everything. He made, he paid, so he obviously had to pay to do the consultation. And he's like, yeah, I've already made like 3 times the amount back. It's been awesome. And other guys have been like, oh, it's like incredible. It's really cool. So yeah, it's good fun to coach people and all that kind of thing. Obviously, I'd like to do a lot more. We don't really do that much at the moment, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
What's that?
And it helps me learn as well.
Keep on going.
Yeah, it just helps. It helps me learn as well. Just because when I teach it, it's like, I don't know, it kind of clicks for me a bit better, and then yeah, it's good.
What are some of like the first kind of like foundational steps you go over with someone who you're mentoring?
I would typically find out where they are now and find out where they want to be within, say, 6 months. And, you know, we'd like completely solidify both of those points. So it's like, I'm here, this is my bank, like this is my bank balance, this is how many sales, this is where I'm in my business, this is how many sales I made, this is my customers, like fully find. And even if it's like, sometimes it'd be like nothing, so I don't even have an idea. So I don't even know what my business is yet. And it's like, you know, but we find out what that point is, where they are. And then we go, okay, so where do you want to be? It's like, okay, so one guy I coached recently was like, I want to be making £4,000 a month by selling this and doing this through this process. So that was his, like, this side. So the whole one-on-one would basically be going, okay, well, let's make a plan that's going to get you from here to here. And we'd like break it down into steps. So it's like, you know, step one, you know, if you've not got an idea yet, it's like, get an idea and have like your website and your branding set up. And like get a marketing plan. Except milestone 2 is like have a marketing plan ready and like, you know, tested and working and making money. And like, you know, the whole thing with marketing is you want to find that one way to sell the product and just repeat it again and again and again. It's not, you know, you don't want to be kind of lost in a chasing sales mindset. You want to be, you know, if I do action A, B, C, I get 1 sale, and cost to do this is like $50. Like $50 doing this process, this process, this process equals 1 sale. Then your goal then is just to do, okay, well, how can I do this process 10 times a day? And then, yeah, just kind of, that's how you know, get the ball going. And you just want to, the problem which I have at the moment is capacity, where your team can't handle the amount of work you get. And you have to get a new team, and then there's like disasters. So I've had to take on like 3 new staff over the past 2 weeks just to like keep up with the crazy demand. And so I've had to like slow down the marketing. And as the process gets more solid, then you can go, okay, cool, let's, you know, get this process going faster. That's kind of the big idea, which is what and that's why it's exciting, you know, that's fun. You know, getting that system, building that system, getting all the teams in place. I've got like a new project manager girl now who handles all the projects and makes sure everything is being handled, and handles like all the team members and stuff, as like the team's got really big now. And then once that's like in control, we got backlog. Like at the moment, we got 38 videos in production. So there's like a big, like so many of them are late too. It's a big problem. So we got all these like videos being done, and but once we kind of catch up with the backlog, and the system now is like stronger. I call it automation 3.0 because it's like it's the 3rd render of the production system. So I had a previous one which got overloaded and blew up. The first one was like, if I use the first one now, it would destroy itself. It could handle a few, but it can't handle what we're doing now. So I've got 3.0 now, which is like really solid and really cool. And once it kind of catches up with the backlog, then I can go back to the marketing and go, okay, cool, let's like double this speed, and it kind of, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So it's a lot of fun.
I remember I read somewhere you talked about creativity. Does that kind of play into this like kind of creation process? Is that something that kind of feeds you?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Like, is creativity something that impassions you? Do you connect that to kind of building these systems?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about it from that angle. I don't know. Like creativity is obviously a big thing. You want to find unique ways. You know, you don't want to be identical or generic. You want to find a creative way to pitch something. And yeah, I've definitely come up with some unique ways of selling stuff. My friend calls me like a mad scientist type guy when it comes to some of the things. I tell him like some of my marketing things I'm doing, and he's like, "How the hell did you come up with that? That's just freaking. It's not even like genius. It's just ridiculous." So it's yeah, like you can come up with like creative ways. Typically, like I typically like to focus on marketing and selling it, selling the products, and I find unique ways of doing that. And yeah, you need to be creative, I guess, to do that. But yeah, like creativity comes from, I guess, reading a lot and studying a lot, and like putting ideas together, as opposed to just like sitting down in a room looking, meditating on it. You won't necessarily find it. I don't know, maybe you will. But yeah, I would say yeah, those are my thoughts on creativity.
And in your interview with Rodrigo, you talked a lot about customer service. Is that still something you think is really important to kind of hit home with?
Yeah. If you make the customer love you a lot, and I find it's a lot. Like if I can make the customer like think I'm like like we get some crazy good testimonials now, and these people just like they'll refer us like crazy, and they'll buy more just for the sake of buying one. Like we've had people buy videos because they bought one before and they don't even need it, but they just want it because they loved buying it. Because the experience is so good, and they just refer us like crazy to all their friends. And this is good for us because we don't have to pay for the advertising cost. And yeah, and it just, my goal is to kind of make it like a crazy exploding, what do you call it? Like I don't know what you call it, but like a, kind of grows and expands and just word of mouth going crazy and people referring us and buying more stuff. And that's kind of my ideal growth in the company, because it's totally free and natural. And yeah, I think that's really cool.
So from starting this journey, I was kind of like taking information and taking the SSM course till now. What is one of the biggest things that you've learned?
I don't know, because I didn't know anything when I started. I started with the SSM course. I didn't know the first thing about marketing. I knew nothing, like literally nothing. I didn't even know how to build a website. I didn't know. I was literally probably the dumbest person in the course when I started. But so I don't know, like my favorite skill and the skill I'm most proud of and the skill I want to become like the best at is marketing. So I would say that's probably the best thing I am at, and that's the thing I read about all the time and try to learn. And I don't know, I'm pretty good at, I don't know, I'm not that good. I was going to say I'm good at building systems, but I'm not that good at building systems. Yeah, I'd say marketing is the biggest skill I've acquired. But I'm still learning it. I would not say I'm not that good yet. I've not got like a McDonald's size business or anything. So I'm still learning.
What advice would you give yourself from when you first started?
I don't know. I would probably, if I could go back to when I first started, the biggest thing I would give myself is the concept of the thing I was saying earlier, like the idea of making the offer ridiculously good. Like when I started, it was very much generic offers, like, oh yeah, websites, but do this, it's really cool. And but now I would definitely, if I was selling websites, for example, I would offer something first that a website, that someone who needs a website would use. I can't think of something off the top of my head. I would make it like a retardedly good offer. Or maybe even something to do with a website, like we will do XYZ, or like a logo design, for example. Like we'll make you a premium custom logo for like $10, just something really ridiculous, and make it ridiculously good and over deliver to the extreme. This concept's called, like, there's a lot of names for it, but it's called like the tripwire. It's also from Ready, Fire, Aim, the book. He talks about it. But then just like offer something that's like ridiculously easy to sell, ridiculously good offer. And then, once they buy that thing, then you can go, okay, cool. Well, now you're a customer. Let's do your whole website. And then you can kind of, it's a lot easier to get a customer for $10 than it is for $5,000, in my opinion. And once they're a customer, it's a lot easier to sell them on something bigger than it is to sell them cold, to sell a cold person something bigger.
So where can people find you online if they want to connect with you?
You could find me on, I don't know, where can you find me? I'm kind of invisible nowadays. You can add me on Facebook, I guess, or you can follow. I think you can follow me on Facebook. Oh, Snapchat! You got to get me on Snapchat or Instagram as well. I think they're both MT Skelcher. So you got Skelcher at the bottom. They're MT that on Snapchat and Instagram. Be sure to like all my photos. And yeah, like we've got a pretty good I've got a pretty good Snapchat momentum going at the moment. I think like some pretty good things coming out. But yeah, that's probably the best way. And Facebook as well, which is my name is right there.
I've never used Snapchat. What is that like?
How could you? It's way cool. It's basically, I don't know, like use it right. Like a lot of people use it really badly. Like they'll keep sending me, it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the coolest thing about it is like the stories. So you basically just film parts of your day. But you want to, I don't know, I like to make it kind of like a story of the day. So you just want to kind of like film just your day-to-day life, but kind of make it interesting and point out random things. And just kind of make a fun little, like a short kind of Casey Neistat style video with it. And then you just kind of put it up and it'll go on this thing for 24 hours and people can watch it and then it'll disappear forever. And you can also send people like messages and pictures and videos as well, which again disappear once you see them once. Yeah, like, well, I use it for the stories. So typically we'll make like a fun little adventure story for the day. Like we did one recently called The Sneak Attack, which was one of my favorites, where we like, sneak up on this person, and then actually that person made one yesterday where he snuck attack us. But yeah, it's kind of like these fun little stories. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably not the best person to explain how it works, but that's what I use it for. That's cool.
So before we head off, is there anything else you'd like to share?
I can't think. I think I've shared pretty much everything. I've given everything I have to give. The only other thing I do is I take vitamin D every day. That's it. Good for, I don't know if it's true, but in my mindset. So I take vitamin D.
Oh, vitamin.
Vitamin D.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Polish vitamin D.
Nice. Oh, I see now. Yeah.
Yeah. Take that with coffee in the morning, and that's pretty good. But yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you very much for this interview. This has been awesome. This has been fun.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. And everyone for watching, thank you for joining us. And next week, Thursday, May 14th at 6 p.m. EST, you can join us with Tim Bodella, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.